Okay, guys, welcome to the last pair for now. Like I said, I might um go into checking out more pairs to see which one is ready for the week, so that by the end of the week we'll get to look at all these pairs as a back test. We get to back test them to see what we missed, and for the ones we didn't take, and also for the ones that we avoided the loss. Okay, so remember, patience is the game. I've not taken a trade up until now because I'm trying to wait for my perfect setup and my perfect bias. Do you get? So if I place a trade, then everything has to come to place. Everything has to be that. That is where I'm waiting for perfect setup. All right. So for now, let's dive into this one. So this is Boom 900. I don't think it's ready though. I don't think it's ready because then we're having this is okay. Let me break it down. Yeah, so market is bearish. We have market here as being bearish here, right? It's been bearish. It consolidated for a while here and then broke down to the downside, and it's also doing the same consolidation, but it has broken down. What we have is market. So something like this here. So you see a break, come back, created this liquidity area, came back, took out the liquidity, ran up to a point of fair value gap. If you notice, this was a fair value gap area. This was a fair value gap area. Yeah, this was a fair value gap area where markets came back to jump in on the daily. Yeah, so this was a daily fair value gap area that market came back to. Let me name it. Okay, so it came back there to tap in on that point. If you break it down to 4 hours, you would see more so you see, so there's kind of like also more fair value gap areas in between these points, and markets is just within that point. So by the time it trended there, look at there was a trend up to that point. So by the time it gave you a break of structure, which is at this point where you have the star that took out and came down to this point. So the star break below this point. So your entry will be here, stop loss will be above here, and market just allow market to ride, and market would have actually gone way far. So if we are to enter this kind of pair, why am I doing this? I'm supposed to do this as a back test. Yeah, I'm supposed to actually do this as a back test. Oh well. So this gave you a clean 1:3.5. I think it went down to as far as 1:3.9, but I don't think you would have been able to hold to all this point where it finally came down to this low here. But however, it gave you a clean 1:3.5 and 1:3.9. Yeah. So that's a good trade. If you ask me, that's actually a good trade. But if you want, you could still move your stop just below the structure, not just above the structure, not like above the entire week. Just be above the structure, and your figure is different. This is 1:5. You get your figure is quite different, right? So it's one of those things that you would get to see. So why I did this one now is because it's forming almost alike the same thing. So after the consolidation, it gave like a little trending point, a high, just like this one. After the consolidation here, and it broke. It gave like a little high, then came back, took that high as liquidity, tapped in on an important zone, which is here, on a zone and a fair value gap area. The same thing is happening here as well. We have markets break the full consolidated area, gave a small little high, took it out as liquidity. It's coming here. It's coming down to this place. It's coming up to this place to tap in on this zone and also on this fair value gap area before it to take off. Okay, so at this point, we are still waiting for it to get there. We are not doing anything at the moment. We are waiting for it to get to that point then before we take the market for a sell. Okay, so these are pairs. These are just the 4 pairs that I'm looking at as at now. Let me do a quick recap on that. Let me save this first. Let me do a quick recap on that. So we have VIX 50. We're waiting, which was the first one we did. Yeah, we're waiting for it to, give us It's been trending up, so we're waiting for it to give us a low, right? A break of structure to the downside, and it's actually within our selling area of interest. So we have this also crash still on the waiting. We have VIX 15 still on the waiting. Yeah, so it's something we are looking at. So check out my other videos. You'll see how I broke down these stuffs, so you understand what I did there. All right. So for now, if you're not following, we're in Boom 900. If you're not following, please do well to follow, and let's do this together. See you guys on the next video. Bye.